Welcome to the world of research. In this video, we are going to learn about some very helpful hints on writing a social science dissertation. Starting with the topic selection. A good dissertation asks an important question. The answer should be relevant to real problems of the real world. How can good topics be found? First of all, keep a books and articles that someone should write file saved in your laptop or PC. When you form a mental picture of something you want to read, but a search reveals that it does not exist, record its hypothetical title and stash it in your books and articles file. Many of these absent articles won't be suitable projects for you, but some will. The rest are possible topics for your friends and future students. You do a major service by devising projects they can execute. Dissertation topics can also be found in public policy debates. First, read up on a policy debate you care about. Then identify the key disputes of fact or theory that drive opposing sides to their opposite conclusions. Then, devise a research project that addresses one or more of these disputes. This search method locates research questions that are unresolved and are important to public policy questions. The next is organization. A good dissertation has a thesis, a main line of argument, or a set of related arguments. If your dissertation lacks a thesis, think it thoroughly again. If your dissertation has too many theses, consider ways to organize your ideas more simply. Dissertation prospectus. Your dissertation prospectus supports your applications for research support money. Your prospectus should be 5 to 10 pages long. It should frame the questions you will address, the reason why these questions are worth exploring, your working hypothesis, the answers you expect to find, your methods of inquiry, and the reasons why you choose these methods. You should footnote your prospectus as you would a research paper. Good bibliographic footnotes to existing work on your topic are also important. Before sending it out, circulate your prospectus among friends and colleagues for their comments and criticisms. Your introductory chapter. The introduction and conclusion are the most read parts of your dissertations and the only read parts of many. Hence, their design merits special attention. You should start your dissertation with a summary introduction chapter. A summary introduction helps readers measure your evidence against your claims and arguments by clarifying the claims and arguments at the outset. This makes your work more readable. Your summary introduction should answer 6 questions. Number 1. What question of questions do you address? Spell them out clearly. A dissertation can propose theories, test theories, explain historical events, or evaluate past or present policies or policy proposals. It can summarize and assess a body of literature. It can describe contemporary circumstances or historical events. It can do several or all of the above. State clearly which of these missions your dissertation fulfills. Frame your questions in terms that call for specific answers. Questions that begin, how can we understand? How can we understand the meaning of the nuclear revolution? Or how can we understand the process by which nationalism arises? Are so open-ended that void non-responses. We can understand the meaning of the nuclear revolution by reading Bob Jervis technically qualify as answers. Focused questions are always better. What are the consequences of the nuclear revolution is an example. Or what are the causes of nationalism? Questions that inquire about cause or consequence, or that pose specific descriptive tasks. For instance, how numerous were Stalin's victims, are better since readers they can easily tell if you answer them. Number 2. Why do these questions arise? From what scholarly literature or real-world events? What previous literature has been written on these questions? If your questions arise from historical or contemporary events, detail these events, explain their significance, and explain why they gave rise to the question or questions you address. Also mention any existing literature on the subject you address and note holes in the literature. Number 3. What answer or answers will you offer? Clearly summarize your conclusions in your introduction. Your summary should offer enough detail to let readers grasp the main elements of your argument by reading your introduction alone. It should run several pages at least. The opposite strategy of seducing readers by withholding conclusion until late in the document merely tries readers' patience. Moreover, your argument is lost on the many readers who won't read past your introduction. Number 4. What competing explanations, arguments, and interpretations or frameworks will you reject or refute? Clearly identify the books, articles, and ideas that you demolish. How will you reach your answers? Say a few words about methodology and sources. If you're doing case studies, explain how you select your cases. If you're doing archival research, say so and identify the archives and sources you read. If you're doing interviews, offer some remarks on your interview subjects and procedures. If you're doing a large and statistical study, explain the origins and construction of the databases you are using, and explain your method of analysis in terms comprehensible to many among your readers who have forgotten their statistics. If you are using other evidence, for instance, press accounts, explain its nature. If your approach is largely deductive, explain this as well. If there are methods or sources that readers might expect you to use, but that for some reason you did not use, you might note this and explain your decisions. Evidence that proved to be unavailable and the lines of research that proved infeasible might be mentioned. If there are important questions that you did not answer, identify these and explain why you could not answer them. Instead of writing your way around gaps in your research, explain them honestly in your introduction. But do your research in a way that does not require lame excuses. Number 6. What comes next? Provide a roadmap to the rest of your dissertation. Chapter 1 explains how the person began with his life of crime. Chapter 2 details his early arrest. Chapter 3 describes his road to punishment row. And Chapter 4 offers a general theoretical conclusions and policy implications. Something like that should be the organization of your study. Dear audience, Subjects 1. What is your question? 2. Why does this question arise? And 3. What is your answer are the most important. Make sure you cover these with care. Summary introductions of this sort reduce confusion about what your dissertation does and does not say. They also serve a diagnostic purpose for the author. The act of drafting a summary can alert you to internal contradictions or other flaws in the structure of your argument. This helps you flag problems that need fixing. Your introduction should be the first chapter you draft and the last chapter you finish. Since it summarizes your dissertation, you cannot complete it until the other chapters are done and you know what they say. So don't spend effort polishing it until the rest of your dissertation is written. Please watch part 2 for the remaining explanations. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting and informative videos. Thank you. Good luck with your research.